Okay, so we're going to look at pivot tables in this video. I just want to delete the data that we just in the VLOOKUP video that we just created. So to create a pivot table, so I'm just going to unfilter as well. We just click anywhere inside the data, and at the top here you can see insert. There's an option for a pivot table. So you just click it from table range, and Excel will automatically work out the range that you want to create your pivot table from. And you can select existing worksheet if you wanted to keep it in the same worksheet, or you can just click new worksheet and then it will add a new worksheet. But I'm actually going to just put it into this existing worksheet. So what a pivot table does, it will summarize large amounts of data. So we have over 8,000 rows in this data set. But what if we wanted to see, for example, how many shows and movies were released in each year? So a pivot table would be the best way to go about that. And the way we would do it is you'll see our field names here on the right hand side, and we could bring in release year and drag it into rows. So it's going to show a row for each release year that's displayed in our data set. And then show ID, for example, we could count these. So this will count how many records show up in each of these years. So you can see it's automatically counted them. But if it summed them, for example, we'd have to change it by you can click on the arrow, value field settings, and then we have options here of what we want to show. So we can also sort this. So we could right click here, sort largest to smallest. And now we can see 2018 is the release year with most shows. So we could even break this down by type. So if we drag type into columns, then it's going to show movies and TV shows, then our total. So the majority are TV shows, but you can see how many movies there are as well. So let's insert another pivot table. We'll just click back into our data, insert a pivot table. We'll insert it into a new worksheet this time. And you can see it opens up in a new worksheet. So let's bring in now, for example, so we could just sum the duration now. So rather than our calculation from previously, we could just do it in a pivot table. And then we could also filter it or break it down again by, well, TV show duration is only going to be 1 or 2 seasons because it's seasons. So yeah, you can also drag the type into filters, and then there's a drop down. We could select multiple items. If you had more than 2 here and untick TV shows, then it's just going to show for movies the sum of the duration. And then we could bring into rows our rating. So now we can see the sum in minutes of the ratings for movies. So the blank ones will just be missing data. It's just unfortunate that that's the way it is. Okay, so that is it for pivot tables. Let's just delete the sheet. We just right click and delete it. And we'll just delete our pivot table that we had inside our Netflix title sheet. You will get much more practice with pivot tables later in the course. So in the next video, before we import all this data into MySQL Workbench, I'm just going to get you to try 5 questions on your own here using this data set. So I'll see you in the next video.